Today we only have 40 minutes to talk about the country where the happiest people and the most precise watches live, Switzerland. In the heart of Europe, surrounded by majestic peaks and crystal-clear lakes, lies a land of remarkable contrasts and timeless beauty. Switzerland, a country where nature reveals its full splendor, forming a mosaic of landscapes that feel almost unreal. From ancient glaciers to well-preserved medieval towns, from peaceful alpine pastures to modern cities, this journey will lead us through a nation that has seamlessly combined tradition with innovation. Get ready for an experience that will engage all your senses. This will be far more than just a simple trip. Welcome to Switzerland, a small country with an immense ability to amaze and inspire. Switzerland is a place where nature and people live in quiet harmony. The mountains here are majestic, yet gentle in their calmness. The morning light softly touches the snow, and for a moment, the world seems to stand still. Next, our journey leads us to the lakes. Their clear surface mirrors the sky, creating a feeling of complete silence. These are the places where you simply want to stop and breathe deeper. Swiss towns also unfold slowly. Cozy squares, neat houses, the soft sounds of daily life. History doesn't overwhelm here. It just lives quietly beside you, woven into every stone. And then the roads. Those panoramic routes where you can travel for hours, watching the landscape change around you. Switzerland is a journey not for strong emotions, but for inner peace. Every view here feels created to help you slow down and simply feel how beautiful the world can be when we stop rushing. The history of Swiss cheeses is the history of the country itself. Cheese-making here is not just a craft, but a centuries-old tradition. Gruyere has been produced since the 12th century. It boasts a nutty, complex flavor. Emmental, with its famous large holes, dates back to the 15th century. And Appenzeller, with its spicy herbal marinade, was first mentioned in 1282. Each of these cheeses was born in its own, strictly defined region. And the flavor of each is an exact reflection of its unique environment. The climate, the high-altitude grasses, and the pure water. In summer, the cows graze high in the Alps, feeding on hundreds of types of wildflowers and herbs. It is thanks to this unique summer milk that the cheese acquires a special, rich aroma, which is impossible to artificially replicate elsewhere. This is the taste of the mountains. Cheese-making traditions are passed down here from generation to generation. Many recipes have remained almost unchanged for hundreds of years. That is why, when you buy a Swiss cheese, you are buying a piece of living history. Fondue is perhaps the gastronomic symbol of Switzerland. It is not just a dish, but a whole ritual. Melted Gruyere, Emmental, or Vacherin, a little white wine, garlic, and nutmeg. And in this simplicity lies an inexpressible sense of comfort and warmth. Fondue is eaten slowly, without rushing. It is a social dish that requires time and encourages long, unhurried conversations by the fire. Raclette is another story of warmth. Here, the cheese is melted right at the table, the molten layer is scraped off, and served with hot boiled potatoes, pickled gherkins, and onions. It is a true feast of smoky flavor. It is during the cold season that these cheese dishes become especially important. They warm not only the body after a day spent in the mountains, but also create that special atmosphere for which Switzerland is so famous. Rosti is more than just fried potatoes. It is a simple yet perfect dish of grated potato, fried in butter, until it develops an ideal golden, crispy crust. Originally, it was prepared by farmers in the canton of Bern. It was basic, hearty, and affordable food, providing energy for a long day of hard work in the mountains. Today, rosti can be found everywhere, from small, authentic village homes to elegant fine dining restaurants where it is served as a sophisticated side dish. Swiss bread, such as the dark Tessenerbrot, is dense and aromatic. It is perfect for soaking up every bit of melted cheese. We must not forget the wine. In the wine regions, such as Valais and the Lavaux terraces, grapes have been cultivated for over 1,000 years. Local white wines, light and mineral, are often served with fondue and raclette, as their freshness perfectly highlights and balances the rich cheese flavors. In Switzerland, food is not just a meal. It is a philosophy of unhurriedness. It is a moment that must be lived, that must be shared. Here, people value simple, natural products, pure, honest flavors, and, most importantly, respect for craftsmanship and tradition. This is slow food at its best. The gastronomy of Switzerland is a direct reflection of its national character, calm, reliable, and genuinely warm. And perhaps it is for this taste, the taste of centuries-old tradition and mountain purity, that people keep coming back here again and again. The history of Swiss watches began in 1541. At that time, John Calvin forbade ornaments, and the jewelers of Geneva started creating watches. Since the 17th century, Switzerland became the center of European watchmaking. And then came the brands that became legends. Longines, founded 1832. Patek Philippe, 1839. Omega, 1848. Tissot, 1853. Tag Heuer, 1860. Audemars Piguet, 1875. In 1969, the first Swiss quartz was created, the Beta 21. And in 1972, the Royal Oak, a watch that changed the industry. Gradually, Geneva came to be called the City of Watchmakers. The masters worked in small workshops, passing on knowledge from generation to generation. In 1601, the first Watchmakers Guild was founded in Geneva. This marked the beginning of the strict quality standards that persist to this day. In the 18th century, Swiss watches began to be exported all over Europe. Their precision and reliability made them highly sought after in royal courts. In the 19th century, production moved beyond Geneva. Hundreds of small manufactories appeared in the Jura Mountains. It was there that the philosophy of Swiss watchmaking was formed: slow work, attention to detail, and respect for time. In 1917, Cartier was the first company to introduce a wristwatch for pilots, and soon wristwatches became a part of everyday life. In 1926, Rolex created the first waterproof watch, the Oyster. This marked a new stage in the history of watchmaking. In 1957, the first mass-produced watches with an automatic chronometer appeared. The quartz revolution changed the industry, but mechanical watches. The history of Swiss chocolate begins in 1819, when François-Louis Caillé opened the first factory. In 1875, Daniel Peter created the first milk chocolate using Henri Nestlé's powdered milk. And in 1879, Rodolphe Lindt invented conching, and the chocolate became smooth and melt in your mouth. Without Lindt and his invention, our beloved Lindor balls simply wouldn't exist. Created by Theodore Tobler in 1908, Toblerone is not just a taste, milk chocolate with nougat, almonds, and honey. It's a shape. What is your favorite Swiss brand? Write about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like so you don't miss our next delicious stories. Today, brands like Lindt, Toblerone, Kayer, and Nestlé are known all over the world. Nestled in a mountain basin between two picturesque lakes, Interlaken is a renowned resort in central Switzerland, popular in every season. The history of Interlaken begins with a monastery founded in the 11th century. For more than 3 centuries, this region has attracted travelers from all across Europe. At first, only members of the aristocracy and the creative elite were able to appreciate Interlaken's charm. It was a place of inspiration, solitude, and majestic natural beauty. With the development of transportation infrastructure, mass tourism arrived in Interlaken. The town became easily accessible and grew into one of Switzerland's key resorts. Beyond its breathtaking landscapes, Interlaken attracts travelers thanks to its strategic location, in the very heart of the Alps. Here, visitors can ascend to the famous Harterkolm viewpoint, take a paragliding flight, go kayaking, experience whitewater rafting, or explore scenic hiking trails. Interlaken also serves as an ideal starting point for journeys throughout the region, including trips to Jungfraujoch, known as the top of Europe. From here, it is easy to visit the medieval town of Thun, explore the castles of Spiez and Oberhofen, or witness the Reichenbach Falls, forever associated with the legend of Sherlock Holmes. Interlaken is a place where history, nature, and adventure come together in a single unforgettable journey. In the north of Switzerland, on the border between the cantons of Schaffhausen and Zurich, lies one of the country's greatest natural wonders, the Rhine Falls. It is considered the largest plain waterfall in Europe. Spreading across 150 meters in width, the river plunges from a ledge 23 meters high, creating countless sprays and a roar heard for kilometers. The volume of water at the falls varies greatly depending on the season. In winter, it amounts to around 250 cubic meters per second. In summer, after the snow melts, the flow can increase 2 to 3 times. Several viewing platforms are located near the waterfall, offering spectacular views of the powerful rushing waters. One of the platforms is located directly on a rock, right in the heart of the raging stream. It can be reached by a special tourist boat. It is also worth visiting Laufen Castle, which, thanks to its location, is famous for its magnificent views of the Rhine Falls. Located in the central part of Switzerland, Bern is known for its cozy atmosphere, rich history, and countless legend. Although Bern is the administrative capital of the country, it has managed to preserve a slightly provincial charm. Green spaces, church spires, and terracotta-tiled rooftops define its distinctive character. The historic center of Bern deserves special attention. Even its layout alone allows visitors to trace many stages of the city's history. There is no shortage of remarkable sights here. Among them is the cathedral, with the tallest bell tower in Switzerland, as well as a medieval tower with its famous astronomical clock. Bern is also famous for its colorful fountains, more than 100 of them. Originally created to supply residents with drinking water, they are today important monuments of the Renaissance era. Bern is a city of well-kept parks and gardens, where urban life harmoniously coexists with nature. The city offers an impressive collection of first-class museums, covering art, history, and science. Bern even has a special area with live bears, the city's heraldic symbol, and a living part of its identity. Bern is a city where history, calmness, and quiet dignity can be felt at every step. Located on the shores of the lake that shares its name, Geneva is one of the most vibrant, distinctive, and largest cities in Switzerland. Geneva is often called the capital of the world, and for good reason. It is home to the headquarters of many international organizations: the World Health Organization, the World Trade Organization, the Red Cross, the European headquarters of the United Nations, and even CERN with its famous Large Hadron Collider. The most recognizable landmark of Geneva is the Jet d'eau fountain. Every second, it sends hundreds of liters of water into the air, reaching heights of up to 150 meters. Yet, like any major city, Geneva is remarkably diverse. Here, historic streets filled with cultural heritage stand side by side with modern urban life. The city offers a wide range of museums, covering everything from art and history to science and innovation. Geneva is also known for its cozy parks, sunny lakeside beaches, an abundance of restaurants, nightclubs, and modern shopping centers. The city is famous for its rich cultural life, high living standards, stunning natural surroundings, and excellent environmental quality. Perhaps this is why Geneva consistently ranks among the top 10 best cities in the world for quality of life. Geneva is a city where diplomacy and science, history and modernity, nature and comfort exist in perfect harmony. Located almost in the very center of the country, Lucerne is rightfully considered one of the most beautiful cities in Switzerland. Here, natural harmony meets a rich historical heritage. Historians believe that a settlement may have existed here as early as ancient times. Its favorable position along trade routes contributed to its development over many centuries. Lucerne's true rise came during the Middle Ages, when it became the first major city to join the alliance that would later become Switzerland. This fact, together with its strategic location, could well have made Lucerne the capital of the country. However, for various reasons, this never happened. Nevertheless, Lucerne captivates visitors with its unique charm. Its cityscape reveals elements of many different styles: Gothic, Renaissance, and ornate Baroques. Among the city's highlights is the oldest wooden-covered bridge in Europe, the Chapel Bridge, together with the Water Tower, a timeless symbol of Lucerne. carved directly into the rock. The Lion Monument, the Dying Lion, is one of Switzerland's most moving memorials. A significant section of medieval fortifications has also been preserved. Lucerne is also home to the Swiss Museum of Transport, one of the most fascinating and popular museums in the country. Lucerne is a city where history, architecture, and natural beauty come together as one.
Já tem os